To Wave 3 listens, it's a reality. We're not getting any younger. How are you financially? Are you set? Are you ready for retirement? Better yet, will you go broke in a nursing home? That's a scary thought. Let's avoid that, and let's talk to Elder Advisors now. Larry Weiss is with me. He's the owner and president of Elder Advisors, and Autumn Schneider, who's the executive assistant. Welcome to the show. First of all, Larry, this is important information. When you said this to me, an alarm goes off in my head, and I go, you know what? That is a real fear of mine. I don't want to face it. But we all really should, shouldn't we?
We should. And the other fear I have is I was afraid there would be green M&Ms in the green room this morning. Garrett Morris took care of it because I'm a little bit of a diva. And I said, I want candy, but I don't want green shelled M&Ms. And bless his heart, he took care of it. Best green room in the industry. Love it.
See, I love an important message with a guy who has some personality. He can deliver it, baby. So
it's only because I'm so beautiful.
Look at you both. You're both so TV friendly. You do look fantastic. So good-looking team, but with an important message. So do you hear this a lot, Autumn, when you're talking to folks and potential clients? Do you hear this a lot when people say, "How can I avoid this? Here's my financials. I'm going in the wrong direction."
All the time. But what we like to say is that it's never too late. Even if you're already in a nursing home, there's still lots of things that we can do to protect your assets.
Okay, so what does Elder Advisors bring to the table, Larry?
Well, John, what we bring to the table is really a dynamic that's not really enjoyed in Kentuckiana, because there's a financial component, which is what Elder Advisors does, and there's certainly a legal component. We're having our workshops next week. Our guest speaker is Attorney Steve Langdon at McNeely Stevenson Law Firm. You need to have a legal component to protect those assets. But all too often, we find when families come in, when they've talked to perhaps just a regular attorney or someone that doesn't deal with this, that they're leaving money on the table. Because Steve is a former prosecutor in Clark County. He's the county council attorney for Floyd County, and he knows where the courthouse is, and he doesn't take no for an answer. Because if we're trying to protect the home for mom or dad.
Yeah, I want to tell you, this says it, doesn't it? Right?
It really does.
This is it. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a little silly thing, but it's the home, and this is our shelter. This is our castle, because families are concerned about, and we're going to keep the house, and also, what about the cash? Are we going to keep the cash? And Mr. Langdon likes to say there's special exceptions that allow for husband and wife. If one spouse goes in the nursing home, we can keep pretty much everything. And if it's a single person, we can protect half. But it takes the skill set of Mr. Langdon to be able to make that happen. I've got a great team at Elder Advisors. Our best kept secret is Tim Goebel. He works with the families to collect that paperwork. Our secret weapon is Denise Manicky. She's our executive vice president. She's co-owner of the business. She's in training this week. She was a former Medicaid supervisor right here at the L&M building for nearly 10 years. And Denise will be the first to tell you her career was basically saying no, denied.
So it's obvious, Larry, you have a team of experts. So what other topics will be discussed at these workshops, these seminars, Autumn? Like what kind of questions do you get often?
A lot of stuff is just, what can I do? How can I save my money? Can I put my house in this? Can I put my bank accounts, my IRA? There's just lots of different moving parts to everybody.
Yeah, we really struggle with the Knife Club guys to have the coffee club every morning at McDonald's, because they're the experts, and they're really not. You know one thing and do it well. That's what Elder Advisors does. We've got, as I said, our talent bench is deep. Elijah Harris is my IT logistics guy. We met a family last night. His car broke down at 6 o'clock. He's worried about losing the home. He's not going to. And because Elijah's there, he took the gentleman home. So that was the first time we did a limo ride. But that's the part of things that we do. Suzanne House is our office manager. She works with Autumn to get the files to the attorney so that we get this together. And as I said, Tim Goebel, he really works with the families, because when families just work with an attorney, oftentimes they're given a piece of paper and they're said, well, here you go. When you get it back, get it done. Well, it may take that family 3 or 4 months to navigate through this laundry list that the state requires. And when they're doing that, they're going through $7,000 to $8,000 a month. We treat these clients like they're our parents, our grandparents. We want to get the app done so Autumn and Suzanne can get it to the law office, so Mr. Langdon can work his legal magic so families don't go broke in a nursing home.
Okay, so this makes sense now. Autumn, you mentioned that it's never too late. So I'll ask you then, Larry, so what is the demographic who should be interested in your services? Is it on the younger side, or is it some of those folks who maybe think it is too late for me? Is it?
Well, first of all, it's never too late.
Good.
Unless they've spent down to $2,000, which is what's called the maximum resource allowance. Someone can have them qualify for benefits. Then there's probably not a lot we can do, but rarely does that happen. The kids that we deal with typically are 45 to 65 years old who are dealing with 75 to 90-year-old parents. So that's the building block. So it pretty much, a lot of our people now, the gentleman, his car broke down. He doesn't know it, but he's part of the sandwich generation. Okay, he had to put his life on hold, move in with mom, and take care of her. Her level of care increased to the point where she had to go to skilled care now. And they're worried about losing everything. And the reality is, between Mr. Langdon on the legal and elder advisors on the financial, we're going to protect about half of those assets. And this gentleman sleeps at night now. We work past 5 o'clock. People get our cell numbers. I'm pretty much doing this 24/7. You know, I'm like the old Doc in the old Westerns. I'm available all the time. If I'm not here, I'll be there.
Good for you. Okay, these workshops, I think there's a sense of urgency here.
There is.
So let's talk about the workshops, how people can attend. Do they go online? Do they call for a reservation? How does it work?
They can visit us at elderadvisors.com and log in there. They can call the number. For television purposes, 855-LARRY-55. So they can just call 855-LARRY-55. But usually your viewers are going to have 2 or 3 screens in front of them. So right now they're probably going just to elderadvisors.com, pull it up on their phone or their iPad, then go right to the website. We've got the Monday night location here in Louisville at the 4 Points by Sheraton at 6 o'clock, and then Tuesday at the Hampton Inn in Clarksville.
You see, I know a lot about, or a little bit about elder law. With that being said, you're much more comprehensive.
Well, and I do the elder financial because I'm not an attorney giving legal advice. Okay, we do the financial part. Yeah, absolutely. And that's why Mr. Langdon, his skill set is great, because the great thing about Steve is he's actually a nice guy. He actually has people skills. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from any other attorney, but what's really unique is Steve is actually a nice guy. Yeah. He's affable. I had a client once say, you know, that attorney could tell me no and I would thank him for it. And that really says a lot about Steve. He is a nice guy, which is really rare. He has great people skills. He empathizes with the families. Steve has a personal connection to this whole concept, which I'm not going to get into today for time, but he understands this model because when just the attorney's involved, they're busy, they're on a whole different level, and the families struggle. They call us. I was on the phone with the gentleman 10 o'clock 2 weeks ago on a Saturday night, or on a Saturday night. His father passed away. They don't want to wait till Monday and call someone and wait 3 days for someone to call him back. And that's what happens with other people. So we really do this. We hit it hard. I love what I do. I am truly blessed. I'm blessed. I'm not lucky. I'm blessed. I'm having the time of my life. I'm living. I'm not existing. I've got great people that work with me, Elijah and IT. And, you know, you commented on our wardrobe. I have a private fashion consultant, Karen Tutt, of Karen Tutt Fashions, Louisville.
I'm giving her a call, too.
Oh, baby. You know, I'm going to be jealous. I'm going to be catty if you do, because she's all mine. Okay. Karen Tutt is all mine. You have to pick up your own fashion consultant. All right. So, yeah, we've got Elijah. The whole team is a great team. We love what we do.
All right. Again, elder advisors, attend one of these workshops. There'll be a Q&A session there as well, I hope.
Absolutely.
All right, let's put the information up on the screen. There it is. And as you can tell, plenty of personality. They're well-dressed as well. Both of them are fashionistas, elder advisors. All righty. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the sunshine today, and we'll see you Monday right here on Wave 3 Listens Live. Have a good one.